So this is the We Get Outdoors podcast. This is your almost abstract weekly news with me today, your host, Rob Yates, and my other host, his name is
Mark Hopkins.
Mark Hopkins. And in this time together each week, we're going to bring you some abstract outdoor news. Now, if you're looking for normal, boring, or anything else, just turn off and go somewhere else. But if you're looking for abstract, different, funny, entertaining, or just plain bizarre, this is the place that you want to stay. Now, throughout this weekly news, we're going to be mentioning all sorts of things. And all of these things normally have web links. And so if you go to the description in the We Get Outdoors tribe, you will find, when we post this, you will find all of the web links where you can go and watch what it is or listen to what it is that we are talking about. Now, I want to kick us off, Mark, because I am super chuffed with something. Do you know what I'm super chuffed with?
I cannot wait to hear what you're super chuffed with. Losing 3 kilos.
Losing 3 kilos. But apart from that, I'm super chuffed because Yogi and Boo Boo are real.
No, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Now, their only problem is that they're real and bored, because many of you will know that Yogi and Boo Boo would wander around the park looking for people's picnic baskets. But of course, all of the national parks are closed at this point in time, so they're hungry and they're bored and they're going around. And there was the most amazing video on YouTube the other day of a bear in Yellowstone Park keeping the park clean and tidy. He was going around and there was cones, orange traffic cones that were knocked over, and he was picking them up and putting them up the right way. Yogi has transformed himself and is now real.
But the thing is, it's the most conscientious bear I've ever seen as well, because not only was he putting them upright, these cones were off the road. They were like in the gutter, in the bit, and he was not only putting them upright, he was bringing them back onto the tarmac. It was like he's going to make the best traffic warden. He's literally, that's his job advert in Yellowstone Park. He is now going to be the chief traffic warden of Yellowstone Park.
That's it. He's the boss. He's now a ranger, whatever his name was, has been demoted, and Yogi is now in charge because he doesn't really care about social distancing or self-isolation or anything else like that.
So talking about job titles.
Yes.
I came across something today which has had me in stitches. Now, the great thing about the almost abstract news is we can be almost abstract. So I found some horoscopes. And these horoscopes were written by Miss Adventure. Okay, so Miss Adventure wrote these horoscopes. Now, I want to share a few of these horoscopes. So, Rob, I believe you are a Virgo.
2nd of September, baby.
So here's your horoscope for this week. In the absence of anything more thrilling to do, you've developed an unhealthy obsession with the bowel movements of your neighbor's cat. You keep trying to catch it in the act of defecating on your lawn. But unlike dogs, who shrug it off with a nonchalant shit happens stare, cats, it appears, do not appreciate an audience. There's your one. Now,
and can I just butt in for a second?
Here's
what I said.
I'm Aries.
Okay, hang on a second. Stop. Do you remember what I said might happen?
Yeah.
It's happened.
Go.
So I've got to disappear for a second. Mark's in charge of the weekly news for the next 35 seconds. Go.
So I am Aries. Now, I read this and I was pretty much upset with life. So here's my horoscope from Miss Adventure. You suddenly realize how lonely you are when the introduction of strict social distancing measures involves you making no changes to your lifestyle at all. That, I think, is a little bit harsh. And actually, it's probably a little bit true because I'm quite enjoying this lockdown at the moment. But anyway, here's another one. So if you are Cancer, this is your horoscope from Miss Adventure. You keep trying to wake up and smell the coffee, but that's the problem with COVID-19. Now that is a little bit harsh. So for all you Cancer people, I'm very, very sorry for what Misadventure says. And I'm going to finish with the last one. Now, this is a tough one for Misadventure. So Misadventure, for all those who are a Leo, have you tried switching it off, waiting 10 seconds, then switching it back on? To be honest, I'm no expert on ventilators. Oh, that is tough. So that is the horoscopes according to Misadventure. Now, again, if you are interested, they are all shocking. They are all, okay, I've got one more just because it's quite funny. Pisces. It turns out you're quite a strict teacher. It's only day 2 of homeschooling in lockdown, and you've already given your kid 56 detentions. Now, there you go. There is some really tough lockdown, self-isolating horoscopes from Misadventure that I'm not sure are politically correct at all. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get some people offended by what Misadventure does. But anyway, I thought it was quite appropriate to share what is going on in the world of adventure.
Did you know other things are happening in the world of adventure? I spent this week mostly camping in my back garden.
That is so cool. I saw some of the posts in the tribe. It looked like your daughter was having the time of her life.
Oh my word, you spoke about poking fire with sticks last week. Oh my goodness gracious me. We've had the biggest fires going in the garden. It's been crazy. But what a crazy, cool thing to go and do. I mean, everybody's stuck at home at this point in time, moping about not being able to get outdoors and not being able to do this and do that. You've just got to go and create it in your own house. And there was a cool article from the Guardian newspaper in the UK that had people with tents up, and they created a glamping site in their living room.
What did it look like? What did they have in there?
So they had a full bell tent up. For those who haven't seen bell tents, go and Google search a bell tent. That's a big ass canvas circular tent, like a wigwam with flat sides. They had like fairy lights and Christmas tree lights scattered all around it, and they moved the bed into the bell tent. And they just like turned their whole living room. Oh, they had the Christmas tree up with no decorations to one side of the bell tent to go and get a forest woodland feel going. And like these kids on that picture looked like they were having an amazing time. And my daughter, last night it was raining in Joburg, and we decided to sleep inside because I've not been feeling so well, and Kate was raining and this, that, and the other. And yeah, she cried. No, Daddy, I want to sleep outside again. I want to camp in the garden.
That's so cool, hey? I think, yeah, it's awesome what people are doing. And we've got some quite cool things to share next week around how some adventure athletes are doing some cool stuff in self-isolation. But it's just, I think it's be creative, glamping. I tell you what, I love the idea of the Christmas tree is my favorite part of that whole story, by the way.
It's going to get all the pot plants from around the whole house and stack them up around the outside of the tent to create more greenery.
But I can't wait. So I want you to tell the video that you posted onto the tribe, because literally I watched that, and you know when you watch something where you know what's about to happen and it hurts before it even happens because you're laughing this much.
Well, there's a famous thing out there, or not famous thing, I suppose a truth, that young men have a habit of doing things on occasions, engaging their muscles first and their brains second. I think that would be the best way of describing it. And so there was 2 young men, and I'll put a link for this video, who, they decided they wanted to snap a piece of wood. It was quite a large piece of wood. They had a fire.
Awesome.
They had a fire going on the side of a track, and they picked up this big piece of wood, one of them one end, one of them the other end, and they ran at this tree, trying to like get the piece of wood they were carrying to snap by hitting the tree really hard. And it would be fair to say that the piece of wood was a lot stronger than the brains of the 2 young men who, as the piece of wood hit the tree, they ended up flat on their backs. In fact, did you notice, Mark, that one of them ended up flat on his back in the fire?
Yeah, no.
They got, if you're into WWE wrestling or something, WFW or whatever it's called, wrestling, if you're into that, they got perfectly clotheslined, I think it's called, by this piece of wood they were trying to break. I'll put it in the description because people have to go check it out. It's one of those videos that I watched it the first time and I'm like, ouch, did that really happen? Are they really that stupid? Do people really do crazy shit like that? Have they not? So I had to watch it 3 more times, and generally they are that stupid.
But it's like, did you see how much pain that one guy was in? When the guy who fell in the fire, he gets up he gets out of the fire pretty quickly. He gets up and he can see his chest. He is wincing and he's almost embarrassed to look at the camera, and the other guy doesn't move for quite a long time. He gets proper catapulted. There is serious air between the bottom of their feet and the ground.
I think it's broken rib territory. That's my guess.
Oh, it's gotta hurt. Yeah, talking of the group, We Get Outdoors Tribe is an amazing place to find really cool content. And every week we do the picture or the video of the week. And the one that I've picked this week is by Kelly Frank Farruggia Jr. Now, so this one is a picture of a black and yellow, I think it's a centipede. I must admit, I did a little bit of research to find out the exact type of centipede, and I came up with a blank answer. So if anyone knows what this is, I'm really intrigued to find out what kind of centipede it is. But there was 2 things about this picture, and it ties in, Rob, to what you were talking about with the glamping and you doing the camping in your garden. So the description that he wrote was quite funny. So he wrote about the fact that he was in the street on his hands and right down with his face in the dirt with his camera taking this real close-up of this centipede, and how everybody around him was just looking and staring at him going, what is this madman doing taking a photo? But I just thought it was quite cool that again, there are so many things out there for us right on our doorsteps that we take for granted. And in this time of lockdown where we are confined to the 4 walls of our house, the opportunity to actually look at the small stuff and really take that extra minute to do so, that's really, really cool. So Kelly, thank you very much for sharing your photo in the tribe this week. And I am looking forward to pick my favorite photo. If you want to be bribe me, if you want to get your name shout out, then send me an email and I'll see what I can do.
And it'd be fair to say, Mark, that you've been protecting the small stuff in your back garden as well. I mean, we were having a meeting the other day, and Mark says, I've got to disappear. And he's been watching this bird nest with an egg in it for I don't know how long. And suddenly there's monkeys in the garden. And so Mark's in the middle of a meeting saying, I'm sorry, then swear words at the monkey. Then he's scrambling around trying to find stones, sticks, and whatever else to throw at these monkeys, protecting the egg. How is the egg doing?
The egg's all right. We had another episode yesterday where the monkey got really close to the nest. So we had to get our pool noodle and our floating aid. And just to be clear, I'm not throwing these things at the monkey. I'm not trying to hurt the monkey. I'm trying to scare the monkey away. So my arm's all right. I played a lot of cricket growing up, so I've got quite a good arm. So this is purely to make as much noise to get these monkeys away from the eggs. But I can't wait. Mummy and Daddy were around today going in and out of the nest. So I've got a feeling that the egg is no longer, and there may be a little chick in there, which I'm very excited about.
Wow. On the topic of monkeys, I went camping with my wife, Kerry, about 6 or 7 years ago for my birthday. And where we were camping, we arrived and put up the tent, and I thought I had everything pretty monkey-proof. All the food was in lockdown fridges and in snap-shut containers. And we went off to go to the bathroom, and we came back to find a load of monkeys going through our tent. They stole crisps or chips. They stole chocolate. They stole my wife's wine. They stole a bag of pasta. They stole all this stuff. And luckily, we had enough to be okay for the rest of our trip. And the following day, I had a big Dutchman came, and by big, I mean, he was like 6'10" or something like that, came and camped next to us. He said, oh, I've got a solution for you. and he gave me his spare paintball gun and 3,000 paintballs in this massive bag of paintballs and said, there you go. And so on the morning of my birthday, I lit a fire. I cooked steak on the fire. I had a beer, of course, because you're having steak and it's your birthday. And I sat there shooting paintballs at monkeys to keep the monkeys away. And it was hours of entertainment for me.
Again, that is just the other thing I found quite helpful is snakes. Snakes is a really good deterrent for monkeys. So here's a little top tip from Mark. If you don't have a friendly neighbor with a paintball gun, if you're going into the bush and you're worried about monkeys, take a plastic snake with you. And all you do is you leave that plastic snake, get one or two of them, put them in and around your camp, and you will never, ever get a monkey anywhere near you. So there's my top tip. Bring a plastic snake. Every single camper, especially in Africa, needs to have a plastic snake with them at all times. It is the best monkey deterrent.
And so while you're talking about holiday destinations, things to do on holiday, have we found your perfect hotel in Peru? Or is it the hotel room that's just going to bring horrors to your mind, Mr. Hopkins?
I think it's probably, when you're so brave, when you're going, that is so cool. Yeah, I'll be up for that. I'll be really cool. And the feeling that when you get there, you're going to go, not a bleep chance am I ever going to go and do that. So what this is, and again, we'll put it in the link, but this is so cool. This is called the Skylodge Adventure Suites in Peru. Now, what this is, so imagine you've got a sheer cliff face, and it is thousands of feet, probably at 2,000 meters above the valley floor. And on this sheer cliff, they have bolted on 4 Perspex pods. That's the hotel.
So these are like glass and metal hammocks effectively attached to the cliffside?
Exactly. So you're fully covered, but you are basically bolted onto a sheer mountain face with Perspex. And they've got, I think, 4 bedrooms. They've got a kitchen area in there as well. The only way you can get to them is zip lining. There's a hike you can do to get up there, and there are these ladders which scare the crap out of me. I'm not good with heights. I will suck it up and I'll do it, but I am not that good at heights. But anyway, it looks, just imagine being like me, suffering from, like, you go to bed. You know how you are when you go to bed. It's pitch black, so you don't quite know what's happening. And then you're in the bed, and the floor is Perspex as well. Imagine waking up like 6 a.m, slightly groggy, not quite knowing. You put your foot down, and then you know how you place your feet, and then your head follows. Imagine that feeling as you lean over and you see 2,000 meters this valley floor when you suffer from vertigo. Oh, I reckon I'll be screaming mummy so loud that she'll be able to hear me from Peru to Spain.
Do you reckon they have a disclaimer for, or something you have to sign your life away if you sleepwalk?
Yeah. Oh my God. Literally, when you see this video, it's insane. There's 2 things that I've stand, a bit like your stupid video you showed me last week of Dane Jackson, which still just gives me nightmares. And again, I read an article today around rock climbing. Just what makes people go, I've got a really good idea. I'm going to get some Perspex and I'm going to go. I'm just going to bolt it in there. The people's mindset about doing these things is balmy. It is bonkers. Again, do you know who I blame? I blame mothers. I blame mothers. If they looked after their children better at birth and didn't drop so many on their head, we wouldn't have so many freaking nuts people in this world. But then again, if we don't have nuts people in the world, we won't have an almost abstract we can use to talk about, would we?
Well, exactly. And what you're talking about, these pods, have you ever seen the big wall rock climbing tents? The tents that are made of nylon-y, canvasy material, that the rock climbers who go up a rock face that takes them days and days to go from bottom to top. and they go and like pitch their tent on a vertical or even overhanging cliff, and just that's what they live in for a night. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Do you sleep with a parachute on?
Yeah, you must do. Imagine if you had OCD as well. You'd spend the whole night just checking you've attached it properly. My dad would be screwed. My dad could never do that. He just would literally, he would do the check once, and then he'll get back into the tent and he'll sit there and go, oh, I'm not sure. He'll go back out and he'll do the whole thing again. Sorry, Dad, it's true.
So there we have it, this week's almost abstract outdoor news. If you want any of the links to things we've been talking about, you need to go and join We Get Outdoors Tribe. It's free of charge. The link will be in the description. And when you get into We Get Outdoors Tribe, that's a Facebook group, you will find this episode and all the links that we've been speaking about, all of the crazy clips, videos, and everything else that you can find to be amused by. Or if you go and join the new outdoor video, adventure sports videos area that is going to go live for you to go and access later today, I guess you might find those links and things like that in there as well. So, Mark, is there anything you'd like to say to wrap up this week's outdoor news?
I have one question for you. Out of all the 6 topics we've talked about today, which is your favorite topic of the week?
Yogi Bear's alive.
That is a good one. I think that's made every adult so much happier. We can sleep. Next thing we're going to prove that Bigfoot exists.
You know, there is some conspiracy. I haven't finished the weekly news. Obviously, there is some conspiracy theories. I'm going to find some stuff on Bigfoot. You know, there are sponsored, paid expedition dudes out there hunting for Bigfoot. Well, I suppose not now because of coronavirus, but there are actually people who, a bit like flat Earth syndrome and whatever else, they are actually flat Earth syndrome, flat Earth belief, whatever you want to call it. They are actually out there hunting for Bigfoot and believe he exists.
There we go. We might have to join one of those one day.
One day. So, Mark, I've got some more news for the We Get Outdoors people who are here or not here or something like that with us on this video right now. Are you ready for the next news? This is like the news that's not the news. Now you're confused, hey?
I'm literally scratched. But with you, I think after all this time of working with you and doing, I just switch off sometimes.
So here it is. We are going to launch in the very near future the We Get Outdoors Awards. Now, these awards are going to celebrate awesomeness in the outdoors, but not awesome done by adventure athletes, awesomeness done by the We Get Outdoors Tribe members. We're going to be having a mini monthly award, and then you're going to be able to nominate your tribe members for certain awards for our yearly large award function. Now, yearly a large award function could be 100% online at this point in time because of coronavirus. However, September, Mr. Hopkins, will mark 12 months since we started We Get Outdoors. So I think we're going to do this in September. And if at all possible, I think we are going to both invest in a flight to the US, and we are going to go and run this awards live in person in America with our tribe members, and we're going to invite you all to attend either online or in person. What do you reckon?
I think I actually found somewhere in the US today that I really wanted to go and visit and do some really cool outdoor stuff. So I am so in for that.
Cool. So that's some hot off the press news. We don't quite know when we're officially going to be launching it because, frankly, we only came up with the idea on Monday. So we need to go and put a bit of structure behind it and a few other bits and pieces. And then I came on Tuesday, I came up with the outdoor video idea, and then there was too many different ideas to build in 1 week. So we will come up with a structure. I already have our We Get Outdoors Tribe hero for April, for this month, for a guy who did something pretty cool that stands for something really cool in communities and tribes in the outdoors. So we already got a hero for April, but Mark and I will go and put our thinking caps on over Easter weekend, and we're going to come up with some the best awards in the outdoors. That's what we're going to go for.
And almost abstract awards, I'm thinking as well.
Oh, we've got to have a almost a. Do you know that we had a few years ago? I organised with Roger. We had a camp. And so a camp was for a bunch of guys, and we all had to dress in pink or in rainbows for the weekend.
I have just come up with the really fun, almost abstract award prize as well, by the way.
The prize?
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Awesome. That's superb. So that's the extra news for Tribe members from us. Thank you for watching and taking part in our very first weekly live We Get Outdoors news. I think we're going to carry on doing this. You enjoyed it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Cool. For our Tribe members, if you've got any questions you would like answered by outdoor experts, please put them in the comments for this post. Or if you stumble across some amazing yet abstract outdoor news that you'd like us to feature in the news, equally, please message us or put it in the comments on this post or do something, and we will do our best to fit in your version of abstract outdoor news as well at some point in time. Apart from that, that's it from me. Bye-bye for now, and yeah.
Goodbye for me.